we've got some more questions to be answered. And one of the big questions, of course, is how Baylor will react to all of whatever it is we're going to do with their right of first refusal. Mm-hmm. They will have, for the folks who don't know this, they will have an opportunity once we get our deal worked out, they will have an opportunity to say, we'll take that deal. And, you know, don't know that they'll do that. Nobody knows whether they'll do that or not, but they have that right. Mm-hmm. And so we're going to have to, whatever we do, we're going to have to run by them first.
Any deal will require their approval.
Well, it isn't so much their approval, but they get to say, they can't say that deal's no good. What they can say is, if we're going to take that deal, those guys can't have it, we're going to take it. It has to match it. And that way, basically, whatever the deal was, instead of becoming a partner with Brand X, will become a partner with Baylor. Because they'll have that right of first refusal. I think our belief is that Baylor probably will not invoke that right unless they see our potential partner as a direct competitive threat. Mm-hmm. So, but we don't know that. We're just guessing at this point.
Would it be fair to say that you've narrowed it down to two choices? It
absolutely would be fair to say that, yes. And for competitive reasons, we can't just blurt it out. For a lot of reasons, not the least of which is we don't really know yet. We have to. There's a lot of work that has to be done before we get to that point. I think optimistically we could make an announcement in very optimistically 60 to 90 days. Mm-hmm. Less optimistically, it could be 150 days, mm-hmm. depending on the Baylor right of first refusal, because they'll have 90 days to make mm-hmm. a decision. We would all hope that they would not take that time, but they have that legal right. And this whole thing, again, if you only go through it once, it's enough. This whole thing turns out to be very complicated because it's not like an asset sale where somebody comes in and just says, here's $50 million and we take everything. That's not what's happening. And that's kind of one of the things we wanted to assure the community was that, that whatever happens in all of this process, there's not going to be an asset sale where somebody comes in and basically buys the place.
That'll make a lot of people feel better, I think.
I would hope so. I know that that option was on the table initially, not from us, but from interested parties. We certainly did have some folks come in and who said, you know, we'll write you a check today. Mm-hmm. And the board said, no, we don't want to sell. And they made that very clear, and so that took that option off the table. And so yes, I really think it's important for the community to know that there's not going to be a total loss of control on the part of the community with respect to their significant healthcare system. Mm-hmm. As far as we've come in this process, I think the one thing I want to tell our community is, whichever way we go, it's going to be a very good thing for this community. It's going to, I think, give us the long-term staying power that we need. Mm-hmm. Healthcare is turbulent, and it's so dynamic that well, we saw what happened in lots of East Texas small communities where they've lost their hospital. Mm-hmm. That's not going to happen here because I think our board has had the wisdom and foresight to begin to position us so that we're going to be here for, as one of our board members said, I want my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren to be able to have good health care in our community, and that's what we're positioning this district for.
Is the board, have they bought into the process of choosing a partner? Is there no backing out or at this point? Or?
You know, I'll never try to predict anything, but the sense that I had after the meeting last night was, I think everybody's on board. Everybody understands this is important for continuity purposes, and for not just continuity, but for helping our organization to grow services. There are some things we find it difficult to do as a standalone independent. But if we find the right partner, we'll be able to do more things and be more stable.
Have the two choices, have they visited us?
Yes, they have visited us. We have visited them.
Oh, okay. Next question.
Yeah, we have visited them, and I think we were very pleased, all of us. I mean, there were a number of folks who went, board members, medical staff members, and administrative team members. And I think everybody that chimed in, and everybody did chime in, we're very pleased with the visits and the caliber of organizations that we're dealing with. Mm-hmm. I won't say we were pleasantly surprised because we didn't have any expectations, but it was just a very good feeling, because it's easy for people to come and make a presentation and have fancy bells and whistles and all that. When you actually go to where they do business, that's where the rubber meets the road. And in both cases, I think we felt like we were dealing with high integrity, patient-focused, high-quality, community-minded people. Mm-hmm. That was very important to everybody.
So you don't see red flags. You see these as very positive and things that will be of great benefit. Very
positive and things that will be of great benefit. You know, one of the concerns, for example, that a lot of folks that we talked to had was, well, how will this impact our foundation? If it has any impact at all, it'll be a positive impact. What will this mean for services? It probably means we'll get to grow some services. I don't think anybody foresees us losing any services. The only time we would lose a service would be a decision that would be made relative to, for example, when we closed hospice, relative to whether, is it a needed service in the community? Yes. Is it being provided by other providers and we're losing money on it? Then you can make a different kind of decision. But I think that we never got the sense from talking to anybody that they just arbitrarily came in and closed services. If anything, again, they're going to make an investment in us. They want us to grow and be healthy and do well.